Hey guys, I want to tell you a story and I'm going to give you some advice. On Monday, I got into a little bit of a argument with a coworker, something that I wanted to prevent by the best of my ability, and it wound up turning into a heated dispute, but it was eventually resolved later that day. This is what I wanted to avoid when I work for myself, but I'm still gonna do this job. Even though I'm off today, I anticipated on working. If I have just 4 days at times, I will find other ways to make money legally. But I want to just say this. There's always been tension in the black community amongst different types, different black people. What's a better word? Different personalities within the black community. Because not every black person is a criminal, thug, pimp, prostitute, drug dealer, pastor. Sometimes they're all the same, in my opinion, but not everyone is the same. You have different, you have a lot of diversity amongst black people, and we all don't see eye to eye. So I think I speak for a lot of people like me when I say that there is a strong hatred, and I'm glad I have a community online that understand where I'm coming from. There is a hatred amongst, I'll just say, mankind within the black community, and it's mostly, I don't really want to say it's 50-50. It's most of the time women, and it can be with men too. I don't really know what who hates the other more. I don't know if women are hated more or men are hated more. But it's really the stereotypes that we don't really care for, especially me. There's nothing more that I hate than working around a walking stereotype. Now, my job is mostly black. Everyone there is pretty typical. Every sentence I hear from every driver ends with bro or some other gibberish that I can't understand. So yes, I'm gonna feel out of place, and I am out of place. But this is just what I have to do right now to get my car. I refuse at my age to be intimidated by people that can barely put a sentence together with subject verb agreement, that can't complete a coherent sentence at that, who don't read, who don't write, who don't have no aspirations other than just making sure you get through the next day. You don't have any, and I'm not saying everyone is like this, but you don't have any concern of your future, what where you're going to be 10, 20 years from now. These are the things that I think about. So I'm all about self-preservation. I try to do what I can to stay alive, to stay coherent, to stay able-bodied, to stay 10 toes, 10 fingers. I was in a car accident, but my brain is getting back to how it once was. I want to stay how I am. So I don't want this job to remind me of anything but money and paid bills. No arrests, no hospital bills, no lawsuits, nothing. So I had an argument with this ghetto ass driver because it stemmed from the disrespect that he showed me on Friday. Now, me being non-confrontational, I didn't make a big deal out of it. I didn't think I was going to work with him again. But when I did find out I worked with him, I told myself I can't let him walk all over me for a number of reasons. For one, I'm not no 19, 20-year old. I don't tolerate disrespect. So I was antagonizing him a little bit during the day, but it was only from his antagonism towards me. And he's way older than me by like 20, 30 years, I think. But I said some things to him. It was another guy on the truck. We got into it a little bit. And I didn't feel threatened by neither one of them. Now, I didn't want it to escalate to a fight because I'm too old for that. And you don't know what can escalate from just simple words. Like, what if he hurts me? What if I hurt him? What if I hurt him and kill him? What if he falls and busts his head open and I go to jail? So I never want to get into any kind of physical altercation, but I said some things, and during the course of the day we got into an argument, and it was eventually resolved. But there's so many times, and let me just say this too, I feel the best defense I have is my words and some of my knowledge. Not everything, but the guys at my job are very unsophisticated. They all say bro in every sentence. And I can't have a conversation with you if that's all you know, if your vocabulary consists of just bro or any other gibberish I can't understand, we can't have a conversation with each other, because I already can imagine what our conversations will be centered around. But I didn't feel intimidated by neither one of them. One was younger than me. I don't fear anyone younger than me, and I'm not intimidated by somebody because of their age if they're 30 years older than me. But it was resolved, but I felt like everything happened because of him. I even had this guy I work with the other day. He told me, yeah, he's really difficult to work with. And the point I'm making in this video is black fatigue doesn't just exist amongst non-black people. It goes on in the black community as well. And I'm just going to break it down like this. Sometimes, because when I work with that guy, and I just thought about the people at my job, it's not everybody, but I just happened to watch this movie. It was really good. It was called The Education of Sonny Carson. I was just watching this movie, and it was hard to look at the scene where the prison guards are whooping his ass for stealing that $100 from that white dude. And I just asked myself, well, first, I don't think it's okay for anyone in position of authority to abuse your power. Your job is to correct inmates, not abuse your authority. Just like police, your job is to enforce the law, not abuse civilians. But I don't know, sometimes when I encounter people like him, I don't feel as bad, because people like him a lot of the times don't contribute to society. All they do is destroy things. They don't build, they don't construct anything in society. They destroy. They destroy, they cause havoc, they contribute to crime, they make people's lives hell, they ruin jobs, they ruin neighborhoods. So when they go to jail, part of me doesn't feel too bad, but it's not okay at the same time. But I don't feel as bad, because what are they doing for society that's positive? What are they doing? You tell me. But where the beef amongst people like me and other people in the black community Where it comes from is just the lack of understanding of different people. It's funny how it's going to be a pretty long video, but it's funny how non, I'll just say, if the word is neurotypical or neurodivergent, one of the two, I'll just say non-neuro different black people complain about race, racism, police brutality, discrimination based on culture, not really skin color, but culture. Because at the end of the day, it's just culture. The way you talk, the foods you eat, the clothes you wear, it's all culture. And you feel judged, you feel discriminated against. But you display that same act of prejudice and mostly that same act of hate towards other people. But you want others to feel sympathy for you, because a lot of the times, because I'm a big fan of body cam footage videos, most of the time, a lot of the shit that goes on amongst police, I'm not justifying what police do, but most of the time, what goes on with police in the black community, a lot of it is self-inflicted. It's you bring that shit on yourself. You bring that attention on yourself. I'm not saying all cops are angels, because I've ran into some asshole cops before. But since I've been back here, I've had not one encounter with police. Now, if I start driving again, which is not very long, yeah, I may draw more attention to myself. And I was on my bike. I remember I was doing delivery and the cop stopped me because I was riding on the wrong side of the road. He just asked me, did I have any weapons on me? And he was like, you know you're not supposed to be on the wrong side of the road. And I was like, I apologize. And then he asked me, did I have any weapons? I was like, no, and he let me go. Now, even if I did have any weapons on me, he has the right to search me because I am breaking a law that gives him probable cause. When you are breaking the law, the cops have probable cause to stop you, to search you. They have reason, because they can't just do their jobs and not arrest people. Because if they don't arrest anybody, then they're not doing their jobs, and that's when they lay off police. They don't have a use for all these fucking cops. I went a whole video without cursing, but my words are getting better, people. But if they don't have the need, they don't require so many police in the big city that I'm in, because they're not arresting people, that they're just going to lay them off. But with a city with, I believe I don't know how many cops we have, but the amount of cops that we have, they have to arrest people. And if you argue with them, you go back and forth, and you happen to have drugs on you, yeah, they'll lock you up for that, or they'll give you a citation. But a lot of the times, this is brought on by your own behavior. Because I don't experience none of these things, because how I carry myself, the people or the lack of people that I'm around, that helps too. But the point I'm getting in this video is, because I even felt it. It was a Puerto Rican guy I worked with Tuesday. I told him that this job is like literally all the juvenile delinquents in school, all of the troublemakers and miscreants. This is where they end up at when they realize that breaking the law, it's like we're not getting nowhere doing that. Well, they can't do it full time, so this is like their little side. This is like their job. This is like their front, I guess. This is their legitimate job. But this is where they end up at. All the people that were the class clowns and the troublemakers, this is where they end up. And he said, yeah, because he first said, hey, people here seem pretty cool. And I already knew what to anticipate working in an all-black job, you're going to deal with your stereotypical. I don't deal with. There's no women at my job, which is great, but you deal with the stereotypical black man, and I'm just telling you, people are getting tired of it. I don't have see. I have the patience because I've grown up around black people my whole life. But other people don't have the patience. And you'll see what I'm talking about really soon. But sometimes when I hear stories, like whenever and I saw that, like, I'm not saying it's okay, but when I saw that guy in Jacksonville get punched by the cop, and I happened to get stopped in Jacksonville when my license was suspended. I was in St. Augustine actually, and the cop realized I had a suspended license. He seemed really like a real dirty cop. He was actually I think a sheriff. He seemed like a real dirty sheriff. He let me go, but that boy that got punched in Jacksonville, or that it's so many instances where black men are brutalized by police. When I see these videos, when I see these body cam videos, a lot of the times it's their past encounters with black people, which is why they have the bad perception. They have the prejudice in them to why they treat you the way they do. I'm just keeping it real. Their past experiences, or word of mouth, or anything they see on social media is why they do the things they do. I'm not saying it's okay, but sometimes when I hear stories of corrupt COs, white COs, in these sundown towns and down south, beating the crap out of inmates to where they're nearly dead or unrecognizable. A lot of the times they're doing this for the people that are fed up with the crime, the dysfunction, the disrespect, the culture. They're doing it for them. Because if you don't rob people, you don't, you stop robbing people, you stop committing crimes, you stop killing one another, or killing other people, like that guy that murdered that girl on the train in North Carolina. When you stop doing it to others, I'm telling you, they won't have a reason to do the things they do. But most of the time, this is why they do it. It's not because the color of your skin, it's the culture. But at the same time, this is not a video of me defending police. But I understand why they feel the way they do. Because I get fed up with it. But I can tolerate it because I have an objective, which is to get my car. But some people aren't as patient. And one day, you're going to run into the wrong person that's going to get tired. And you'll see what I'm talking about.